situation, you need to check out with your snow commander about taking a break. You know, if you've been through everybody once and it's snowing like crazy, whatever, you've been out for 10 hours, the snow commander might say, you know what, take an hour, or take a half an hour, whatever, go get something to eat, take a little break, get out of the truck, stretch, you know, be back in the truck by, whatever, 1 o'clock. You know, so don't just take your own breaks, you know, don't say, oh, I did everybody once and go home and go to bed and think it's done and over, okay? You need to make sure that you are checked in and out with the snow commander before you do that. And negotiate, you know, a time. Okay, again, if paperwork's incomplete, it can hold up your pay if we don't have payroll stuff, and also, even if we don't have, you know, all the individual jobs checked off, we're not gonna process the payroll until we have that complete. So, otherwise, it gets crazy trying to chase this stuff down. Accidents. If there are any accidents, whether you hit a mailbox, whether you bump into a car, a parked car, whether you, anything like that, you need to call it in right away. You need to call in the snow commander, and you know, if there's other people involved, I mean, that's gonna probably end up being a police report kind of a thing. So we need to know about that right away. Make a note on the list. Oh, I tore up a bunch of grass. I tore up the mailbox, I banged the garage door, whatever you did, we need to have that written down so that we can get a list going, and we can get things fixed and repaired. You know, in the spring, we go around and do all the lawn damage. You know, if it's like snowing now and we tear up someone's lawn, and it, you know, we may go back tomorrow and fix it, you know, if it's not frozen solid, right? If it's warmed up and we can fix it and put it back and not have it be, you know, a damaged spot, we want to do that. So please make a note of any and all of that. Just to remind you on payroll, our payroll week starts at 12:01 a.m. on Sunday. So Saturday night at midnight is the end of the payroll week. So if we have a weekend storm, you know, you might only get 3 hours, you know, that you plowed on Saturday, and you know, your 8 hours that you plowed on Sunday won't happen until the next payroll cycle. So recognize that, okay? And make sure that you fill out your day change. Okay. Well, plowing. Sometimes people not on the list will ask you to plow them. So if you're plowing Mrs. Jones and Mr. Smith comes out and says, hey, you know, can you come plow my driveway? You ought to ask the snow commander, especially if you're a newer guy. If you've been around for 20 years plowing for me, maybe not so much in terms of asking the snow commander. But it depends on our state of busyness. You know, we're committed to servicing the customers that we have, especially on bigger storms, and that's when it typically happens, is on bigger storms. You know, we shouldn't be doing, you know, some new guy, you know, when we've got a 20-year customer that spends thousands of dollars with us, you know, and then we get stuck in his driveway, and we're holding up production for all our good customers. So, you know, you should ask the snow commander, hey, this guy wants to be done, can I do him? And oftentimes we'll, you know, say, well, have him call the office, or, you know, have him give me his name and number or whatever, take down his info, and we may say, you know, hey, we'll do you on the second pass. You know, we got too many customers to do right now, so we'll come back and get you on the second pass. Or if it's quick and easy, you know, he might say, yeah, you know what, just do it, and then we'll send him out a plow contract and get him in the queue. Do not do those little jobs and have the customer pay you cash and put it in your pocket, okay? That is stealing from the company. It is stealing not only the money that comes out of the pocket, but it's stealing the liability insurance and all the other business that goes with it. So that is not acceptable. It will be dealt with severely, okay? As in you will maybe be fired. But it is not acceptable. So the reason, and it always comes out in the wash. I mean, it's only happened maybe a half a dozen times in all these years, but it comes out in the wash because, you know, if Eric does it once and I forgot your name.
Brendan.
Quentin?
Brendan.
Brendan. And then Brendan is plowing Eric's route because he's out sick or he's on vacation or whatever. and then we get a phone call in the office, hey, you know, this is Mrs. Jones, you know, you guys didn't plow me. He said, well, where do you live? And he's like, oh, geez, you're not in the computer. So, well, yeah, he plows me every time. I hand him, you know, $25 or something, and it cash, you know, and it's gonna come out. It is not acceptable, okay? So don't do it. It isn't worth the $25 to lose your job. And, you know, if you hit her garage door or tear up her bushes or anything else, you know who she's gonna be calling. She's not gonna be calling you to come fix that stuff. She's gonna be calling me. So that's all my liability. It's in my truck, you're wearing my jacket, you're on my time. It's my money, and please do not do that. Now, you're fine to accept the cash, put it in your folder, let me know, paid cash, you know, or a check or whatever, but don't let it go in your pocket, please. Joe, did you have some comment?
That was pretty much what I was gonna say.
I was gonna say, it's under GPS anyway, so you can't get away with it.
Well,
Yes,
yes,
you know,
somewhat.
it takes time to monitor all that stuff, and typically we're monitoring by exception, not by rule. But yes, that it could come out that way as well and could be verified. So, you know, if we happen to see you, you know, I mean, we do watch, the monitors are on all the time, and if we see you in the driveway that we don't recognize, we might be on the phone, hey, where are you, what are you doing, you know? So that can definitely come out. Okay, so we've got that down. In terms of driving, when we are plowing, we want to be in four-wheel drive high, okay? Only if maybe you're towing someone out of a snowbank, maybe you want to be in four-wheel low, okay? For the most part, we're really not using four-wheel low. So we want to be plowing in four-wheel high. If you're in a one-ton dump truck, sometimes you get away with just plowing in two-wheel drive, the back four wheels, I should say. But you don't want to be spinning your wheels. You want to be gripping and you want to be going, okay? So if it's one of those storms that snows and it's warm and then it gets all slushy and the roads are dry quickly and all that, you should put it in two-wheel drive in between driveways or in between parking lots. If your roads are bare, you should not be in four-wheel drive. So put it in and out in that case. If the roads are all snow, you should stay in four-wheel drive. It's safer, you'll make it around corners better and all that. So be aware of that. But we can't go at a snail's pace in four-wheel low, and we shouldn't be spinning our tires in two-wheel, okay? Let's see here. As I mentioned, you know, if we're expecting a big storm and you know you're coming back for a second visit, you should do that first visit quick. You know, push it in, push, in, out, back drag, you know, just get it passable. Doesn't have to be all tidy, don't have to worry about every little trail and everything else, because you know you're coming back and it's still snowing, okay? But just get it passable, in and out quick. On the second visit, it should be done nice. So we're gonna drive up to garage doors. We're shooting for 12 inches. I'm giving you 6 inches leeway either way. So if you're 6 inches close to the door, beautiful. 12 inches, beautiful. 18 inches, that's fine too. You shouldn't be more than 18 inches away from the door, and you shouldn't be any closer than 6, okay? I don't want to replace garage doors. We've replaced many too many than I care to admit, and it's expensive. So when you go just one little dent in an aluminum metal door, you know, you got to replace the whole panel. You know, you can't just get a little spackle and touch up paint. It just doesn't work that way. So we need to make sure that we are shooting for about 12 inches away. Don't be a hero. Don't pull up to the doors too fast, and back blade away, okay? And then when we, you know, push, we want to make sure that the entryway is nice and wide. We want to be careful about the, you know, certainly careful about the lawn and about pushing snow back far enough. And I guess that should be a conversation at the time for snow commander. If we're having a big storm, we want to push the snow back quite a ways onto the lawn. We don't necessarily want to do that if the lawn's really soft and we're not getting much snow, because it may just melt, okay? And we don't want to risk tearing up the grass, but at the same time, if we, you know, get a foot of snow and we leave it right on the edge, and then we get another foot of snow, there's like nowhere to put it, and then we're trying to push through 2 storms of snow, and that's not good either. So, you know, if you're an experienced plower, you'll know what to do and when to do it. As newer guys, you're going to need some direction, and we can talk about that. Yes?
What about the situation where there's cars parked there? Do we have to write down that do we get off and plow by hand?
That's a great question. You should, you know, do up to the cars and be on your way. If you're doing parking lots, there's going to be some parking lots that we're going to want to call ahead, and that should be in the note. So when you go back, you're going to call ahead to whatever, 110 Pleasant Street, and say, I'm going to be back in like 45 minutes. Can you have your cars moved? And then they'll text everybody, all the tenants that live there, get the cars moved so that you can clean it up. Okay? If it's Mrs. Jones, you know, they know that after the first pass, you know, they should get the car ready to move. You know, you could give them a call from your phone and say, hey, I'm here. You know, can you move your car? They should have it cleaned off and ready. You should not be waiting for Mrs. Jones to stroll, get her jacket and boots on and clean her car and have you sit there for 15 minutes while she's warming up her car and scraping her window. You don't have time for that.
That's 78 Ashley Street.
Yeah. Well,
Sometimes
that's,
I'll sit there 45 minutes and like wait for these people to move their cars.
well,
I'll yell at them and be like,
yeah,
I'm sorry.
Bob-
but guess what? Whatever's out, you clean it and you come back.
right.
Just tell them, hey, I moved the cars, put the cars in the clean spots, and then you can clean up the rest of them.
So the customers' phone numbers are on the sheet, so you should be able to call them and, you know, we want to provide great service. So, I mean, if we know that there's a car there and, you know, say, hey, I'm going to be there in a few minutes, call ahead. Think about 1 or 2 driveways ahead of where you are and say, you know, can you be ready to move the car as soon as I get there?
But you clean around the truck, the cars, but your responsibility is not. If the car's full of snow, like under the tire, that's not.
No, we don't want to clean cars because then if they got a scratch on their car, they're going to say it was you.
Yeah.
And maybe you used just a little brush, you know, but maybe you didn't. Maybe you used the shovel and you did scratch the car. We don't want that, okay? It's not our responsibility to clean the cars.
People at Quail Run love to do that.
Yeah,
The old ladies will come out like 4 or 5 hours later and say, oh, you scratched my car when you didn't even go near it.
Right. Now, if we're doing like a 1-inch plow, sometimes it's just as easy to jump out and shovel, you know, around that car and be done with it, not have to come back. So you're going to use some judgment like that, okay? And even if it's like maybe a 3-inch storm, I mean, you're not going to necessarily do that if there's 6 or 8 inches, right? But, you know, if it's a small little storm and it might be quicker for you to just get it done, shovel around it, maybe you'll do that. If they're a shovel customer, not if they're not a shovel customer. And that's a good thing. I think I skipped that. In terms of shoveling, again, we talked about it being a second pass activity, right? But we do not get out of the truck and shovel unless they are a shovel customer. So if on your route sheet it doesn't say shovel, you don't get out of the truck. You get as close as you can to the garage door, you plow the driveway nice, and you're done. Okay, if it is a shovel customer, there might be special notes that say something about it, like I read to you on 1071, but if it doesn't say anything, that means you're gonna shovel in front of the garage door, so as close as you get with a truck, and then you're gonna shovel the rest. Maybe you shovel it into the driveway first and then back blade, you know, however you wanna do it, and you're gonna shovel the front walk, okay? So you're not shoveling the back walk, you're not shoveling anything else, you're just basically shoveling the front walk and in front of the garage doors if it says shovel with no detail. If there's details, do what the details say as well, okay? And when you shovel, we do not expect a rabbit trail. A rabbit trail is 1 shovel wide, little crooked path going up to the front door. All right, if the walkway is 6 feet wide, you only have to shovel 4 feet wide, okay? But you've got to shovel a 4-foot walkway. You don't have to make it, you know, if the whole, like at Molinari, you know, like you go through a patio to get to her front house. It's so wide. All you need is a 4-foot wide path, okay? So don't give me a 2 foot wide, you know, 1.5 foot wide shovel width. So give me a full width shovel.
So I don't have to shovel Molinari's whole.
He just said, yeah.
No.
Hey, Dave, so the shoveling is on